So, next on the program, in congratulating the Eagle Scouts on your great accomplishments, will our Council Advancement Chairman, Jared Hempel, please come forward to present two very special awards.
Good evening. I'm honored to present the Glenn A. and Melinda W. Adams National Eagle Scout Service Project of the Year Award. The National Eagle Scout Association established this award to recognize the valuable service by a scout who performed an exemplary leadership service project as part of his Eagle Scout process. The winner is then eligible for the regional and national awards issued by NESA. The 2020 award goes to Gabriel Duke, Eagle Scout from Troop 251 in Plymouth, Indiana. Gabriel has joined us tonight via Zoom, and Dr. Pettivoli and who is the current Scoutmaster of Troop 251, and Mrs. Sharon Steffen, wife of the late Michael Steffen, former Scoutmaster of Troop 251. Sharon and Dr. Pettivoli, would you please join me up here? We're asking them to come join us and accept the award on behalf of Gabriel, who's not able to be here tonight. The evaluation of the award itself is based on 10 criteria. First, sophistication of planning. Second, amount of effort required to complete the project. Third, extent of leadership provided by the scout. Fourth, extent of achievement of the planned result. Fifth, project's impact on the beneficiary. Sixth, originality. Seventh, scope of the work. Eighth, time and materials contributed. Ninth, level of skill to complete the project. And lastly, thoroughness of the written project report. And each year, the Council Advancement Committee then selects one project from across the entire council that we feel best epitomizes the above criteria. So, in summary, Gabriel's project. His project was converting a courtyard at Triton Junior Senior High School in Bourbon, Indiana that had not been in use for 30 years. He converted it to an outdoor classroom. He first had to draw up plans of how the area would look and then write up an estimate of the cost. In doing this, he also met with the school principal. The principal of the school was very pleased with the plans and stated that he had not thought of doing the project as Gabriel had it laid out. After laying out the plans, Gabriel then began writing a grant application to Lowe's. While waiting to hear the results of the grant application, he worked on planning other fundraisers, including attending small local fairs selling hot dogs and barbecue sandwiches, as well as contacting local restaurants for additional assistance. The first workday of the project revealed the pavers that needed to be removed and power washed were much larger than expected. He was expecting 1 foot squares. They turned out to be 2 foot by 2 foot and 2 inches thick. As well as having to dig up weeds and applying grass killer. The project progressed over several weeks as grass killer had to be applied multiple times before the ground could be then tilled and leveled out for the application of weed barrier, mulch, and stone. In the meanwhile, planning and scheduling for volunteers was subsequently adjusted. Upon completion of putting down the weed barrier and laying the mulch, Gabriel then made contacts to source stone and have it delivered. He was able to find local businesses that donated their time for delivery and approximately 20 tons of stone for the project. Gabriel oversaw the work of the volunteers moving the stone then from the back of the school into the courtyard area. There was also a water fountain located in the courtyard that was removed and the area repurposed into a circular lecture area. The plumbing and electrical for the fountain were removed and then the area was filled in with gravel. A separate bench was part of the original plan but was not incorporated in the final project. However, Gabriel did plan to build picnic tables that would be part of the outdoor classroom area. Several weeks of planning, organizing, and work came to fruition in the new outdoor classroom. At the completion of the project, over $12,000 for materials and supplies were raised through donations and fundraisers, and over 2,000 hours of service were performed by Gabriel, fellow scouts, scouters, friends, family, and local business people. In Gabriel's words, part of the closing of his project report, I learned that it is not easy to get others to listen to details. I also learned that it takes a lot of planning and work to get a project done, and without volunteers, it would have been a lot harder. This experience has helped me to learn to communicate with others and to be able to give directions in a way that everyone understands. But most of all, this project taught me that it is a great feeling to do something for someone else and see what we did being used and enjoyed by everyone at my school. So on behalf of LaSalle Council, we present Gabriel Duke with the Eagle Scout Project of the Year.
I'm honored to deliver Gabriel's acceptance speech. I would like to thank the council for this honor, plus our troop charter, First United Methodist Church of Plymouth, for all the great support that they have provided our troop. I would like to thank Triton Community Schools, their superintendent, Mr. Riddle, and their past principal, Mr. Ross, for letting me do my project there and for all the help they gave me on the project, along with the scouts from Troop 251 for all their help. I really need to thank my mom and dad for all the help and support they have given me over the years, and especially my mom for putting up with my dad and myself all the times we were doing scout things. There are 3 people in our troop that we really like to give special thanks to. Mr. Pettivoli, our chartered rep, for all the work he does, making sure we as scouts are where we need to be in advancement, and all the work he does, putting everything in the system and making sure it's correct. I would like to thank our assistant scoutmaster, my dad, for all the campouts, teaching, and instruction he has given me. Then there is Scoutmaster. Then there is Scoutmaster Mr. Mike Steffen, who we lost earlier this year. Sorry. I'll get through this. When I was going to write this, I asked my dad, who are the great people of scouting? And he said, the people that are with you now. And I said, no, I mean like presidents, astronauts, and things like that. And he said, those people are well-known scouts because they became famous, but they are not the ones who got you to where you are today. He said, the great scouters of my time are all the scoutmasters, assistant scoutmasters, chartered reps, merit badge counselors, everyone that has led a first aid event, Klondike event, merit badge clinics, training events. Those are the great scouters of my time, because they are the ones that helped me to where I am today, and he's right. So I'd like to say thank you to all of you for the time you invested in getting me to Eagle. Now for my scoutmaster, Mr. Steffen. I got to see Mr. Steffen in a different way than other scouts did. He was my dad's best friend. They spent a lot of time going over scouting things for a troop. He would come over to our house, or we would go to the park to figure things out. I got to see all the time and effort he put in for us, and what it took to make the preparations for what we chose to do. He would meet with the troop every January, and he would tell us, plan your year out, figure out when and where things will be, and let us know. Once he knew, he made sure we were able to do what we had planned. I personally feel that Mr. Steffen and my dad made the perfect team in scouting. One event that we did every year was lock-in which was our New Year's Eve party. The scouts would make the menu and the activities we wanted to do that night. Mr. Steffen would add his own twist. He said, I'll get the wasabi, you get the pizza. Mr. Steffen would always say Monty Python for the movie for the evening. My dad would always say Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Mr. Steffen would then say, we don't want to give the scout nightmares. My dad would say, why not? They do us sometimes. And they would both laugh, as you are now. But with Mr. Steffen, it was all about the troop. He had us run our meetings, do our own training, and had us make sure that new scouts were on track for advancement. He made us the teachers. When I asked my dad things about scouting, he would say, talk to Mr. Steffen. He is the scoutmaster. So I would. But I didn't realize until Mr. Steffen was gone why my dad did that. I was able to learn and grow in a way from talking to Mr. Stephan that I would have not learned from my dad. Excuse me. I realized how amazing he was. Mr. Stephan was my scoutmaster, my teacher, my counselor, my mentor, my guide, but most of all, my friend. He is the reason that I'm able to be an Eagle Scout and receive the Eagle Scout Project of the Year. So I'd like to accept this on the behalf of Mr. Stephan, the greatest scouter of my time, Gabriel Duke.
Now I would like to present the William T. Hornaday Award. Would Maury Riddle please come forward? Maury will be accepting for his son Cameron, who is currently at West Point Military Academy and cannot be with us tonight in person, but is here via Zoom. The William T. Hornaday Award was initiated in 1914 and recognizes scouts and scouters for their service in conservation and ecology efforts in their communities. The individual youth awards are based on earning merit badges related to ecology and conservation, as well as completing one or more projects in natural resources conservation. There are 3 Hornaday Awards available to scouts: the Hornaday Badge, Hornaday Bronze Medal, and Hornaday Silver Medal. There have been 1,200 scouts who have earned either the bronze or silver medal throughout the history of the awards. 21 merit badges are recognized for the Hornaday Awards, including an Eagle Scout required merit badge, Environmental Science, and cover the spectrum of observation, preservation, and conservation of renewable natural and wildlife resources. Scouts are expected to earn 5 or more merit badges from the list of recognized badges related to conservation and natural resources. Project categories include energy conservation, soil and water conservation, fish and wildlife management, forestry and range management, air and water pollution control, recycling, hazardous material disposal and management, and invasive species control. Each project is expected to be greater in scope and impact than an Eagle Scout service project. LaSalle Council is proud to present the Hornaday Bronze Medal to Cameron Riddle. Cameron is an Eagle Scout, class of 2015, from Troop 257, chartered by First Presbyterian Church, Plymouth, Indiana, in Marshall County. Cameron earned 14 merit badges from among those recognized for the Hornaday Awards. The projects Cameron planned, developed, and completed included the following: creating an outdoor education center for Washington Discovery Academy in Plymouth, Indiana. He developed and sent packets of information to teachers regarding the outdoor education center. He secured grants and donations to build a trail, fire pit, outdoor seating, and education center, as well as repairing a bridge. The project was unveiled on Arbor Day 2018. He also did a bat house challenge. Cameron built bat houses, made a presentation at an elementary school science fair, and sent out information to local teachers as well as Scouts BSA councils throughout Indiana on the importance of and how to build bat houses to help Indiana's bat population. His third project was an invasive species day. For this project, Cameron contacted the Indiana Invasive Species Council specialist. He held an elementary education day about invasive species, and with the help of the invasive species specialist, held a kill day to remove invasive species of plants. His final project was a recycling program for the Marshall County 4-H Fair. He developed a plan and monitored the progress of a recycling program over the course of 3 years at the fairgrounds. On behalf of LaSalle Council, we would like to present Cameron with the Hornaday Bronze Medal.
Cameron's over there, and he'd be the speaker, so I'd just say thank you on his behalf, and thanks all who helped him. Mr. Stephan was the one that mentioned it to him first when he was real little, so a loss to scouting. So anyway, thank you, folks. Have a good evening.
And congratulations again to Gabriel and Cameron. Scouts really do accomplish great things, don't they?
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
My name is John Carey. I'm the Scout Executive of the LaSalle Council, Boy Scouts of America. Before I go into the presentation of our next award, I am going to take the Scout Executive privilege and go off script just for a second. Jim, it's okay. I want to say something. I was truly inspired, obviously, just of the two presentations, and I hope you were too. I cannot stress enough, I've been with the Boy Scouts as a professional scouter for 20 years. I was never a Boy Scout myself. I never had that opportunity. It was not afforded to me when I lived in Louisville, Kentucky. And over 20 years, I have seen so much. I've lived in Kentucky for the Boy Scouts, Maine, Maryland, and then I moved here 2 years ago. And in that 20 years, there's been one thing consistent. Well, really two things consistent. One is the caliber of the Eagle Scout is amazing. And this room attests to that very point. But secondly, and most importantly, and I say this to all the new Eagle Scouts, to the class of 2019, look around. You are here because of the people who gave of themselves. Your parents, your scout leaders, people you don't even know who are in this room, and a lot more who are not in this room. Scouting transcends past your own troop, goes past this council, even goes past this nation. Scouting is around the world, and it's all driven because of the wonderful people who give of their most precious possession is time. Time is the most precious possession that you have. I ask of you in the class of 2019, as you look around this room, and you look at all the people of the last years of your scouting career, and you're about to wrap it up, remember that.